And we're live! Look at that. Look at all these beautiful faces. Let me fix my little doodad thing there. There we go. Alright, now we're like mostly centered or whatever. Welcome everyone to The Rising Hunger, the third episode in fact, and you all will notice that Riana is not joining us tonight. She's ditching us for a Final Fantasy convention, so whatever. That sounds cool at all. Go hang out with your nerd friends.
Nerd.
We're gonna play D&D.
We each get to leave one mean note in Six Killer's pocket.
There we
Yes.
go. Beautiful. That she'll discover when she becomes conscious again.
Mm-hmm. That's our cliffhanger for next time. What's in the pocket?
What's in the pocket? Beautiful. I love that. I'm gonna write that down and hold you all accountable. But welcome. This is a horror-based stream where we are playing through a version of Kobold Press's Empire of the Ghouls.
Ghouls.
I love you all so much. Where you can expect for this evening, we are recently, of course, which we'll get into with a recap, but dealing with the grief from character death. And so, yeah, sort of grief content warning as a potential. With that, though, that is really the only thing that I can think of aside from the usual zombies, vampires, undead, eating of human flesh and cannibalism, body horror. Those are generally themes that you could expect to find in the show. And yes, with that, I am your storyteller this evening, Sage.
And I'm the Willy Boo at the Willy Boo. Fun posting online and forgetting my lines because I can't reveal what my lines are yet, but we'll get there soon.
All right, it's me now because someone's gone. Hi, I'm Matt, online at Kintaro TPC or my podcast at The Crodex. Today I'll be playing Valka Ilford, the Shadark High Witch, who is now without a familiar.
More on that soon at 11. And I am Jen Vaughn, and I will be playing Marrowmorn, your lavender, luscious, and lovely orc bard shade. So I am dead. I still have my little sort of familiar. He's not a full familiar, like I didn't do the paperwork, but he's my little ellipsis. He's my little tiny snake that resides in one of the ocular cavities of my fantasy purple skull backpack. But Marrowmorn is a real upset, and we'll get into that when we talk about transitioning to Sage. What happened?
Yes, tell me, friends, what happened last time?
I prepared a special monologue for this, actually. I'd like to tell you that things went well at the Temple of Midnight, but that would be a lie. Moreover, I'd like to tell you that our defeat at the claws and jaws of Simroth was quick and decisive. That too would be a lie. Instead, we faced a long uphill battle where all we found was despair and hopelessness. One by one, I watched my friends fall in battle. One by one, another connection to the only healthy companionship I've ever known was tossed, chewed, and ground into the floor by my so-called best friend. In the end, I was alone, tired, nearly expired, and unable to fight any longer. I was given an out. My friends' lives were mine. I was promised power in exchange for their suffering. I bargained with the only thing I had left. Threatening to kill myself and delay the recovery of the Necropedia, I convinced Simroth to let us go. Not all of us, though. LuVon was trapped by Queen Morena in a crystal. Morena, his mother. I left with a wedding invitation and one less companion. There's only one choice left to me now. Find the book before anyone else loyal to Agva can. I don't have much to hope for, but I'll do whatever it takes to free my friend LuVon. If I ultimately have to give my own life for this cause, then so be it.
Marrowmorn prepared a song
Oh, that's much more cheerful, I'm sure.
But yeah, so wait, did you say this in character, Matt?
You can imagine that as like narration, like overlooking the disaster of our bodies.
Yeah, exactly. As we like wake up and see LuVon inside this this crystal. Was it pink, red? Had
It was like
Purple?
it was this like just like deep violet that had this like darkness that crackles around it.
Great. So using her incredible bardic abilities and ill-timed because of charisma, she pulls her dulcimer out, Marrowmorn, and starts plinging it, softly, and nothing like singing directly into someone's face, right? She backs up a little bit from Valka and Six Killer, looking at LuVon. Is there a hole inside my heart? When did this aching begin to start? It's like you're still standing there. Your sweet scent lingers in the air. And if I cry, will you come back? And if I died, would you join me? And if I look outside, will your spirit haunt me? LuVon, I'm so sorry. She sort of puts her hand on Valka and Six Killer, who's moping big time.
Six Killer is cursing her beak off at the moment.
Yeah. That's the longest song you've ever sung in my presence. It's fitting that it's for someone that matters.
I mean, I'll write you one too, but prefer not to write songlogies. No, can't do it.
I think it was a dirge.
Is that dirge, yes, called? Yes, that is what they're called. Yes, this one was a little more like westerny sort of whatever lies west of this. I don't know if you've heard Western swing, but
nah, I don't really get into music a whole lot generally.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm
not usually allowed into live venues.
Yes, well, we
the
can
only place where music can be heard because there's no such thing as a recording.
Not without a lot of magic.
Yeah.
Every time you talk about your life.
It's funny that you say that because I got a lot of notes in here about the adventures that we have, and one of them is that apparently, according to you, every time I open my mouth, it's the saddest shit you've ever heard, and that's a quote.
Yeah, I mean, oh, you want me to sign that? I mean, I agree. I mean, this is sadder. I'm not gonna lie.
This is, the Shadowfell is an entire realm of sadness and ennui, and this is worse somehow. I didn't think it could be worse, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, we failed LuVon not once but twice. Like, we failed him earlier. He had to take a new form as a Leonin because we couldn't save him back at Hitchcock's Barn Hoedown. I can't quite remember what the name of that event was, but something. And then we and she's like puts her hand on Valka's like a robe, right? Yeah. And like on his shoulder. And I'm just like, we gotta start thinking a little more strategically and a little bit more evilly.
I agree. We're gonna have to stop fucking around so much.
Yeah, us specifically.
Yeah, definitely.
6 Killer's great.
6 Killer has always been on top of things, appropriately applying violence.
Yeah, not you and me. And it's cost us. So.
Yeah. I got work to do. We got to find a place to camp out for a bit because I got pretty beat up. I got nothing left in my pocket for bags of tricks. I'm gonna have to do a lot of careful planning and crafting.
I mean, I can also give you just a little bit right now if that's.
No, worry about yourself. I mean,
Oh, I've been touching myself constantly, curing wounds. Yes.
I've been
Just-
trying to ignore you doing that. I didn't think it was appropriate
it's
to
not-
watch.
I'm touching like in a public area. So,
I mean, sure.
um,
Different cultures call that a public area, I'm sure. But
Sage, do LuVon's eyes move at all? Where
They
he's
do
stuck
not.
inside the crystal? Oh, okay. All right. And she traces just some little symbols in the dirt. If there's dirt, there's probably like a little bit around the plinth of this jewel. And
hey, if you're missing dirt, I can give you some dirt.
yeah, and we'll be back. And just cast guidance for no reason. It's only gonna last a minute, but just a little, come back to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You send out this magic, the small prayer of hope in this place that is absolutely decrepit, decaying. Though now that Simroth has vanished, everything seems to feel a little lighter. The ambiance around you doesn't seem as dismal and oppressive. The sort of tendrils that you felt of this sort of creeping psychosis that were crawling up the base of your neck have receded. And while you may not feel great, it does feel a little bit better. As even just looking around at the forest that surrounds this, the remains of this dwarven thaig, even the trees seem just a little bit greener, and the dwarves who you had seen who had just formed this wall at the tree line where you all had left them, they all begin to sort of meander now, and they all begin to some go back into the forest and continue wandering, but some sort of venture forth and they step into the ruins of what was their home. And you see them sort of kind of shambling around, picking through the rubble, almost as if they're performing these like everyday tasks. Like it seems that one like goes into what looks like probably would have been a shop and like goes through the things, these broken pottery in jars, and like puts them in their arm and then steps out and leave and goes to make the motion of like leaving money on a counter.
Marrowmorn, I mean, we should probably get the fuck out of here before some awful shit shows up to kill us, right?
Yes and no. I mean, they got what they wanted. They got the prince.
Yeah, but
pointing to LuVon.
Isn't this the place where the wedding's gonna be? Don't you think they're gonna start putting people out here to plan and tidy up and figure out the catering menu?
I mean, you think they're going to eat?
I believe, given everything we've seen so far, there's gonna be a lot of eating, probably drinking. I think
vampire undead feast. That seems.
Yeah. I think we should. I mean, this feels wrong to say, and I almost hate to hear it come out of my own mouth, but I think we should probably try to stay positive, right? You, like you said, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Did I say that?
I think you did. I don't think I would have come up with that myself.
Yeah, no, I think I sang it though. I didn't say it, but yeah. Probably annoyingly.
Valka just looks at you like, what the fuck difference does it make?
A lot. I mean, some of them are magical words. Like
it's still it's still encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe I shouldn't judge. Maybe this is a big difference to you because you're a bod.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
it's
step
okay.
on your toes.
We're friends, right?
We are friends.
Only two of us talking right now, so it's kind of like.
I almost said best friends. Is probably not a good idea to say that.
Oh, we could be that. Okay, you know what? We can't say it's for the LuVon. That he's got to be here too. So
right, or Six Killer, who may take offense and in her anger right now.
Mhm.
Her silent anger.
She's pretty speechless, it sounds like. So
Yeah. Uh,
we,
yeah,
we
we
sort of
should-
pet 6 killer or pet, excuse me. Whoa, I'm so
Easy.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Pat
That's
her.
probably against some kind of religion, probably.
Yep, I apologize. Yep. Pat 6 killer on the shoulder. All right, let's let's get
You know,
did you see it looks like they're doing like commerce over here. Did you catch that?
doing commas.
Commerce.
Oh, commerce,
Money for yeah, thank you.
trade. Yeah.
Yeah, trade.
Yeah. What would they be trading? These are ghosts, right? What the ghosts trading?
Not good. Undead.
Sorry. Again, I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, we should maybe we should see I mean, we're gonna go get the book, right? The
Yeah.
book for Simroth.
Yeah, the book for Simroth. You can tell that Valka's just like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get it. He's bad. He's very bad at lying.
Yeah, but Marrowmorn's really sad, so she probably doesn't notice.
Yeah.
Checking my passive perception.
So yeah, while
pretty good.
you're here and you're observing these dwarves sort of kind of oddly go about their everyday undead lives, there are these to remind you all of what the setup is. So this is like this like big bowl-shaped area, and at the heart of it is this temple that is surrounded by this great big orrery that you can see is still crackling with magic, and you see these large swinging arms with these sort of that almost look like celestial bodies at the end of them, continue to spiral around in this fashion. And at the uppermost ring in the dust quarter, you can see that there are these 7 beacons that stand, one of which LuVon was placed in. Valka, with your ability to read witch script, you can read the runes on the one that LuVon was placed in, which let's see, which you can see that there are a series of arcane runes that have been sort of etched in that grant undead resistance to radiant damage.
Yeah, Valka will point. This one that LuVon is a part of now grants undead a little bit of bolster against radiant damage, which is probably bad news for us.
Yeah, and the one that you all had passed initially when you walked into this area granted the area immunity from divination magic. So you think that probably each of these beacons corresponds to a different magical effect that either affects the people here or the area itself.
So
should we I mean, I remember the divination one because it
Mhm.
really was like a third of my spells, but not anymore. Should we try to see if we can make these other ones like kind of hinky them up a bit,
I mean, we could probably try that. What we can do, though, for the time being, is if we want to take a bit of a rest here, get ourselves collected, at least by the virtue of knowing that divination magic's not going to work, no one's going to be able to scry on us or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. Where should we rest? We're not going to rest in like the midnight temple in the middle, are we? Like,
I mean, we can. I can make it so it's wicked hard to see us. Like, I mean, we can't be scried, but I can also kind of hide us a little bit.
okay.
And yeah, scattered around, you can see there are definitely the remains of houses. And as they go further in towards the middle, you can see that they grow increasingly elaborate. Where at the centermost ring, or the one that's just outside of the temple, you can see that even with all of the dust and of stone crushed over time, you can see flecks of diamonds that are engraved in the street, and you see that these, they're the remains of these huge manor houses carved from stone. And so there's definitely shelter here that you can take use of.
Yeah, Valka will like try to lead to like a little home with hopefully like one entrance, and then like once we're in there, he'll be like, "All right, this is a magic trick that I learned for making sure that people can't see us." And then he's gonna like push stuff like into the doorway so that it's blocked.
Brilliant. No one likes moving things. So
Exactly.
I don't know if you've ever tried to move in the Shadowfell and asked people. Probably not.
I mean, I grew up in the woods for the most part, so no.
Yeah. Good idea. We'll just and Marrowmorn sort of just like kind of, if there are curtains, sort of drawing them a little bit over the window, like not closed all the way so they can still see outside. / that would look suspicious, but you know, just like a little gap so they can place themselves. What's the sofa situation like?
It's everything. You can tell that all of the furniture is very much in that 50s modernity style, where it's very clean, slick lines, like all the houses are, even though everything has sort of been pushed and piled over and mostly in rubble, you can tell that like the property lines basically on every single house and like shop in this area is just like was measured to the T with the just utmost precision.
Mid-century modern sort of gestures, and then looks at Valka and goes, "Never mind." It's good. It's quality.
This is good. We can definitely use this. Valka will go over to some of the furniture and start ripping it apart to make a little fire.
I mean, Marrowmorn points to the stack of wood by the fireplace. I mean, sure, that's fine. That's fine. It's beautiful.
Oh, I didn't see that. And he's like snapping off the couch leg.
Well, while you're desecrating that, 2 losses in one day, obviously one bigger than the other. Can Marrowmorn walk around and check to make sure no one's in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You can take a quick tour of the house and do indeed find that it is empty. Valka, as you're going through, starting a fire, you feel the weight of something extra in your pocket that you did not feel before.
Valka like puts down the scraps of sofa, takes out a tinderbox. No, not that. But I'm gonna use that. Sets that aside and goes through his stuff, and he pulls out something.
You see a ring. You see this ring that it's difficult to look at. As you look at it, your eyes kind of slide away from it, as it almost seems to like blink in and out of existence. Kind of like the feeling of when you notice alternating current, in how like lights flicker on and off. Yes, it is a ring of protection, a +2 ring of protection that reminds you of someone.
Valka will look at it and then look to where Marrowmorn went and like, this will be my most precious thing. And he'll put it on. No one needs to know about this.
You could just hear Marrowmorn sort of mumbling, singing, "I get the reference."
And so you all can continue on and making camp and getting some well-deserved rest at the end of this day.
So if I don't sleep, do I still get to spend hit dice to recover hit points? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Valka will not be sleeping at this point.
Oh, well, without her memento mori, Marrowmorn, which was a special makeup kit that Marrowmorn used on her dead clientele at Lunar Star Graveside Services and more to make them look good. It also kind of like aged them down a couple years too, so made them look relaxed. Like the makeup knew everyone's favorite, like how they like to look best. So, but without that, because it got incinerated in this last game, she actually has to sleep now. And some other things that could crop up, but big loss for her. Her memento mori. So she's like, she's looking at the remnants of the couch. She's going, yes, it's kind of like my life. All right, well, I'll just drag some stuff out of the bedroom and we can make a nest, if that's okay. And she puts a blanket over Six Killer, who likes to sleep with the lights out.
Yeah,
And,
in these dwarven houses, since they would have been underground at one point, there are remarkably few windows, so it is easy to find a room that is that would lead to be utter darkness.
Okay, well, we could put her in there to be polite then.
Yeah.
And with the time you take, you can spend to attune to the ring as well, Valka.
Sweet.
And some of us sleep, some of us don't. And the next day, you all can make your preparations and begin to head out. In this area, you did see that there is this large mouth that opens into a passageway that that you can immediately tell leads into far underground.
Yeah, when you wake up, Marrowmorn, Valka's like stabbing himself with his quill and just like puncturing like little lines in his arm. And then when he sees you awake, he just like rolls the sleeve down.
Are you tattooing yourself?
Is that what they call it?
Yes, that is what they call it.
Oh. Well, I guess, yeah, in a way.
All right, well, shall we go get the book, right? Like, live our lives, LuVonless.
Yeah. You don't have to say it like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. LuVonless.
He's still there. He's just in a crystal. We're gonna get him out. How am I the positive one here? What happened to you, Marrowmorn?
I'm sorry. It's sometimes that's what friends do for each other. She starts to get a little pink in her lavender cheeks. They are different. Sometimes they're the rock, and sometimes they're the salty remnants of a life poorly possibly lived, smashing up against the rock, and you let me sit there for a little bit before I trickle back into nothing.
You're right. I'm gonna try to be your rock for now. Yeah, I made you something, and Valka hands you a thing that he's made from scraps in this room. It's kind of like a Y-shaped stick, and like in the Y, he's like tied up some strands of his hair, and he hands it to you, and he's like, so you can it's a little bit of a weird object, but you can set fires with that, and if you want, you can speak into any fire, and from any point of flame within 1 mile, your voice will be heard as if you were there.
What? I could sing to so many people. I could tell them about Luna Star, graveside services, and more. 2 for 1. Burn it down. 2 for 1. Oh my God! She like lights the fire, and I probably shouldn't do Yankee Stem else around though, right?
I mean, you go ahead. So, just for your notes, as an action, you can make a touch spell attack against a creature and deal 1d12 points of fire damage on a hit. You can, as an action, just light or extinguish a mundane fire that fits in a 5-foot cube, and you can speak into any fire, and from any point of flame within 1 mile, your voice will be heard as if you were there.
Matt, out of character.
So cool.
You made me the coolest radio ever. Oh my
Oh my god, think of the branding potential.
Well,
Yeah, Six Killer's not here to talk me out of capitalism. So time to run rampant. I mean, they're here, but they're
this
Thank you
is a
so
curio of fire.
Curio of Fire. Oh my god. Oh, this is thank you, Valka. I didn't make you anything because I had to sleep to get better. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not looking to get stuff when I give gifts. I give them out of love.
Oh, well, I love you too.
You see Valka turn like a darker shade of gray as he blushes.
All right, well, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
I'm
let's get
mad.
the fuck out of
I'm
here.
still mad. I'm very mad.
Let's
not at
use that
you.
energy.
Yeah.
All right, where to, folks?
And I'm sorry, Sage, you mentioned you were describing stuff that was outside when we woke up, or
Yeah. So, one thing that you would notice is an entrance that that heads further underground, from where, not far from where the Temple of Midnight is.
all right. Valka, do you have like a bead on where this book would be, or one of? Can you feel them?
Unfortunately, not really, but we do know that it's going to be in a library, and we do know that there's going to be a Sphinx involved, so we can start looking for something like that. Maybe we can find some locals who might know of a cursed library.
I mean, it's got to be like on the brochures, right? Like,
Yeah,
hey, come, we'll enjoy your book, except we'll take the last 5 pages out. Yes, absolutely.
exactly.
Okay. Should we
You can
go?
learn all you want, but you can't leave and take that knowledge elsewhere. That sort of thing, probably. I don't know.
It's not. Yeah, whoa. Should we? Do you think we could try our lovely friends that followed us yesterday?
I mean, we couldn't hurt. I mean, we might scare them, or they might cause our eyes to fall out or something like that. But I mean, it can't hurt otherwise.
Yes.
You go ahead. You're much better at talking than I am.
Great. Yes. And Marrowmorn is also going to briefly sing one note, and then almost like when you whistle and hum at the same time, or maybe Tuvan throat singing, sort of like that sings a second note that's in harmony. Yeah, something like that. Sorry, that was probably terrible. And just like minor illusions, like a set of eyes on top of her eyes. So she's just kind of got big anime eyes now, but just like, let's go.
I like it. And so you all can head outside, and you do indeed see many more of these dwarves have sort of filtered in, and you can see them coming in and out of houses and like making the gestures to close and lock doors, and carrying small bags that like you can see that are like filled with rocks and stuff like that.
She tries to make, well, can't say eye contact. She tries to make face contact with one of them. Like sort of like step in front of, oh, hello. Hi, remember us?
And you step in front of this woman who you can see she has a sort of grayed, what was probably once bright red hair, and she sort of turns to you and with these, and is looking at you for all intents and purposes.
Right. Yeah, Marrowmorn is making direct ocular cavity contact with this person, and just looking at their face. Yes. Is there like a? Do you have like a library here, like a book mobile caravan wagon, book wagon? That's it.
And she starts to speak, but no sound comes out.
Marrowmorn just sort of like starts pointing to see if she'll start like nodding or something. My hot? My cold?
And eventually, as you're like pointing, and as you like start pointing off to the left, and you can see makes an excited pointing gesture, and you can see this very large stone building that's sort of you can see. Do any of you read Dwarven? or understand.
I can read Undercommon and Goblin, but not Dwarven.
Yeah, you can see a bunch of like this grouping of very sort of stately looking buildings that are sort of mixed in with these manor houses, and we'll point to one of them.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good life.
Give a wave.
Yeah.
Continue on with her business.
All right, Valka.
What'd you learn?
It's right over here, and she like leads
Oh
over.
shit!
Yeah, yeah. They're not messing around when they're not. I don't know, creeping us out. So we go over to the building. Is the door? Marrowmorn's just gonna try to use her elbow to open it. Just.
Yeah, they're very, very, like, everything here is pretty much made out of stone, so, like, moving everything takes quite a bit of effort, and so you can give a shove, you can tell that there's some, like, rubble that's maybe fallen behind it, but definitely with the three of you, and especially with 6 killer strength, you can definitely shove the sucker right open.
With 6 killer silent strength, yes.
Thank you,
yes.
6 killer. No need to say
No,
you're
of
welcome,
course,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Say no more.
Yeah. Valka, they've got the same idea as you. They don't want people to know they got the moving stuff in front of the door.
It's a really good trick. Works every time, except for right now when we're doing it.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
And so you all can head inside, and you see that within the remnants of this building, you can see that this building stretches up several stories that you can all see kind of like up in front of you. So you see that they're all kind of like balconies, and you can see steps that lead up to each level. But instead of what you would expect to be a sea of like books made with paper, you see that everything is a sort of a series of tablets that are carved out of the stone in this very short Dwarven script everywhere.
I'm just gonna activate my like arcane sense and basically just start like poring over everything in here, touching stuff, smelling stuff to see if there's anything magic in here.
Is that a divination ability?
Let me look at it because it might be a supernatural ability. Upon reaching 7th level, your senses have changed from being close to your otherworldly companion. You can now sense magic. This might be through smell, taste, etc. But you gain the extraordinary ability to perceive magic. As an action, you can open your awareness to actively perceive such forces. Till the end of your next turn, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you, and you see a faint aura around any creature or object in the area that bears magic. Can penetrate most barriers is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. It doesn't specify exactly, but
Okay, yeah. All right, I'll say it's fine that it works. As you reach out with this arcane sense, you get the feeling that all of these stone tablets are very vaguely magical. There is this sort of this abjuration magic to preserve them, but there is also conjuration magic, so that if you knew the right words to say or how to use them, that you would be able to change the words that are displayed on these tablets.
yeah, I'll relay this information to Marrowmorn and be like, yeah, I can't fucking read them because it's Dwarven.
Yeah. I mean, do you think the book is in Dwarven though?
No, I don't suspect it would be. And I think it wouldn't exactly be a stone tablet either.
Yeah, it would
It'd
probably
be more like an actual tome, yeah.
Probably stick out, right? Not
Yeah.
physically, but like when you're looking.
You had seen it was
Yeah.
this paper book.
Yeah, that's right. In my dream, all right, I think I
A
saw it as
paperback.
paperback.
Ooh, okay.
Paperback, not like a hardcover.
All right. Really, these books are that cheap? Okay, they seem very powerful,
Yeah.
but that's fine. You know, it's good.
Not a
Just cracking the covers. That's fine. It's fine. Sorry, that's me coming through. That's not Marrowmorn. Marrowmorn doesn't care. Should we check some of the others, like, go up a couple more flights, see if we can.
I mean, we can check, but I don't think we're gonna find anything.
Yeah, it's
I would
too on the
suspect that
nose.
they would only have like the one format. I mean, we could check though. I don't know if you think that there'd be anything in here.
Yeah, is there?
worth.
Oh yeah, we can't read anything. But
Can't
are there
read
any
a
other
fucking thing.
are there any other rooms? So like maybe there's like special collections or.
Definitely, yeah. And as you go through, there is definitely, you see a set of almost like cellar doors as you head towards the back that go down, and you can see that there are these staircases that wind up to all these different levels. So if you all want to take like a couple hours exploring, you all will definitely be unimpeded. But you can find.
There's something back here, but I've lost the train of thought for a second.
Yeah, so as you're winding through, you eventually see that there are other these tablets that are written in different language in these small sort of cubbies, but nothing that is
All right, so you think it's a dead end?
Yeah, I think that's a little on the nose in terminology, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Also, yeah, to hide a book in a place where books are. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's like a town where no one has eyes, but maybe they can still see though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're coming up dry here. We should probably look somewhere else.
All right, should we see if there's a bar? Sorry, I was just playing off the dry,
I don't know. I'm not really in the mood for a drink, if I'm going to be perfectly honest.
No, that's fair. Let's not then. What? Can you tell me more about the book? Sorry,
well, I can't tell you a whole lot, not because I'm trying to keep secrets from you, but I don't really know altogether that much about it. I was tasked with finding it by people loyal to the Raven Queen. I do know that it's a real book, and I do know that it's got magic shit in it, but I don't know what the exact contents of it are gonna be.
No, it's all helpful though, because loyal to the Raven Queen. So like, I'm not saying we need someone who looks like you or acts like you, but it's probably not just going to be unguarded, right? Like it might be on someone or
I mean, I would suspect that
it's not going to be in a nest though. I mean, it's not going to be so like.
I don't know. Do sphinxes form nests? Don't they form dens?
Dens. Yes, they're also
Oh wait, shit. They have like wings, don't they? Sometimes. No, is
Yeah,
that
they
a
could.
griffin?
It depends on the Sphinx and which world we're in, or no. And
You did see a winged sphinx.
okay,
Oh,
yeah.
It was
So maybe you're
very
right.
much undead.
Maybe you're right. If it's a winged sphinx, maybe it does have a nest. Maybe it's just got like a lot of branches and straight textiles.
It's a big tree. I mean, yeah, could be all sorts of things making that nest up. Bodies, skeletons
Yeah.
are great for structure. So
I don't want to know
yeah.
if it lays eggs. I don't want to think about that.
yeah, no, we're not in the we're in the over-positing section. That's why you brought this up, I guess. Just points to like a picture on top of one of the tablets, but
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
immediately the Everything You Need to Know About Sphinxes book, volume 1.
yeah.
If only Six Killer were more interested in conversation, we could probably get into the real
Oh,
nitty gritty
we could
about
full
our position.
Yes, we could absolutely talk about eggs and holding eggs and yes, all sorts of
Laying
things.
eggs.
Yep, laying. Oh boy, I just
Well-
had so many children.
We'll have to really grill her on that later.
Like 9. Is that a joke?
What are you talking about?
No, never mind. Anyway,
we can't spend our entire lives in a library talking about eggs.
I mean, I could, but yeah, I guess. No, you're right. We got
It's a choice.
Yeah. All right, let's go. And we head back outside.
Yeah, head back outside. You all head underground.
Hey, look, there's this large like passageway it's leading underground. I don't remember seeing this on the way in. Do you remember seeing this?
No, we.
You all were far away, and it's like obscured under a lip. So
Mm.
But I can respect you, Matt, for trying to make sense of why we didn't go to it before. This ominous hole. Yeah, we should.
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of ominous holes.
Well, there we
so
go. Yep, back to all
One
the
ominous
positing.
a-hole for one.
That's right. Afga and Simroth.
Agfa, but
What do you-
sure.
Is it?
Look, I know he's an asshole, but you can at least get his name right.
You can make fun of my accent every time I say a word weird to you.
What are you talking about?
You just said
We're ta-
winged. We Valka, I think we need more people in our group.
I
don't know what you're
love the
talking about.
Marrowmorn and Valka show.
We
Look,
both
listen,
we shield ourselves with humor in certain ways, and I don't think we can be alone together.
I'm very used to being alone.
Oh god.
Just not with this giant gaping hole in front of us.
All right, well let's go into the hole, and yeah, maybe there's
We'll work out our own problems with guarding our feelings with humor, or guarding our progress with humor. Just it's not a very productive thing that we're doing, but we'll work that out later. We have a hole to get into.
and we
something not fucking around anymore.
Yeah. Yep, we enter the hole together.
What is the dark vision situation with all of you? I can never remember.
I'm an orc, so I got it, baby.
I got 60 feet, and I know I have Six Killer is in possession of a Curie of Perception, which
That's
gives
right.
her dark vision up to 30 feet.
That's right.
Yeah.
She
And
was the only
also, the Marrowmorn just pulls out her little kalimba and like plump 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 that's made out of little finger bones, and 4 little balls of purple light come out, and she just sort of she drop kicks dancing lights further down for them to see, just to make sure there's not any like more holes within a hole or something
Mhm.
that we fall down.
Just before we get too far in this hole, and this will be the last time I kind of bring this up because I don't want to stop our entire day on this. But did you make this kalimba?
Yes, I did.
Did you decide to make it out of fingers because it's played with your fingers?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of a thing. Yes, these are
Just
bones from my
curious.
uncle. Yes, yeah,
The Uncle Bones.
Uncle Bones. Yes.
I see. Well, anyways, I was just curious.
All right. Yes. I mean, you're welcome to ask me any questions about any of my instruments.
Nah, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, and also, yeah, she's got that giant, beautiful white light, dulcimer on her back too that can
Oh yeah,
sort of
you're a
just
real
glows.
beacon in the dark here.
Oh, Valka.
I mean that literally, and I guess also figuratively.
No, well, that's fine. Yes. No. All right, let's go. And we walk further in. We've been in like the just spent 10 minutes in like around the whole rim or whatever we want to joke about.
The
But
opening.
yeah, gapping around in the gape, like
Oh, gabbing in the
Gabbing,
gap,
Yeah,
in the
that was
gap
it.
with Valka and Marrowmorn.
the
Subscribe.
mid-morning
like.
coffee show.
Oh my god. Oh my god, total morning zoo vibe. 1000%
Oh,
with
boy,
Marrowmorn
yeah.
doing all the sound effects. Oh, so good.
Mhm. But we're
Anyway.
clearly doing it for the money. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you all begin your descent. And with this, with these 4 dancing lights out in front of you, giving off the soft purple light to lead your way, you all feel this very, very steep grade as you are very sort of rapidly descending underground. And yeah, I don't think any of you have spent probably much time underground. But how does that feel to you as you all begin to descend? And you can kind of keep like a mental track, and an hour passes, 2 hour passes in this steep grade, and you can guess that you are easily 2 miles below the earth as you feel that sort of pressure way in, and this ceaseless darkness that continues to front you in this sort of featureless environment where you know, the temples, they're pretty wide. They're 15 feet wide, 15 feet tall. They're kind of the like hemisphere shape. Very like, they have been very purposefully hollowed out, as if this looks to be, you know, could have possibly been a way for like infantries to march or large trade caravans, a sort of almost highway that's leading down into the underground. And what is that experience like for you all to be just in this darkness?
I think Valka's probably got a look on him like he knows he's like jumping into the mouth of some great beast, but also like at the same time the determination that he's got to do this because he's got to find the shit. So it's like both fear and determination.
Marrowmorn is fascinated. She's like, can you imagine living under here all the time? Just like no rain. Maybe be like a wet, moist underground. There's probably a situation, you know, people have magic. Did you see a sign outside? Like, it seems like kind of like an important walkway. I mean, it was in the middle of a city, but like, did you see a sign?
I mean, if I did, it probably would have been in Dwarvish, and I can't read that.
That's a good point. Yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, and sorry, and sort of a thing that you notice too is like about every 10 feet you can see that within the wall there are these like small holes that you can like poke through, and you feel like the trickle of fresh air begin to filter down. So you think that this is apparently connected somehow.
It's got ventilation, so that's good because the deeper we go down, I may not have to tell you how dirt smells. Anyway,
What do you mean by that?
I didn't know where I was going, so that's why I kind of trailed off.
I mean, yes, I know exactly what dirt smells
No, it was
like.
not a comment on you, Valka. I
Grimy,
promise.
Worm-riddled, fungus.
Sorry, I just
infected dirt. But yeah.
Sorry, I've you know, in other lands that aren't, you know, don't have like the dead that come back, people bury their people. Okay, well, I've heard tales. Maybe they're just rumors, but people bury their dead underground.
Oh, I mean, that seems economical, right? Because then everything can eat it, and you don't have to see it while it's getting eaten, right?
I guess, but like, it's kind of like we're like walking around as the dead in here. I guess I am dead, but
also, yeah, you're like half right. Then yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Sorry, I'm just having like a theological exercise. I really wish 6 Kilo was here to talk about this with me.
Do you feel like you're burying yourself?
Kind of, yes. That's where I was going. I kind of feel like I am burying myself. So
it's interesting that you have that sort of association, given that I know that at your what do you call it? Your establishment,
funeral home.
Well, yeah, it had a name.
Lunar Star Graveside Services and more. Thank you.
You weren't so much into the burying; you were into the burning.
That's the rule. You have to burn.
Yeah, but so my point though is that like that was your style and what you were used to, but here you feel like you're being buried, even though theoretically you haven't been buried before, maybe haven't experienced it so much.
Is this that word that starts with a C? Cholesterol? No. Chlamydia? No.
I'm not sure.
Claustrophobia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess that could be it. Do you feel like your chest is like closing in on itself?
Yeah, no, yeah.
You feel like you're not able to get a full lung of breath?
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah. It's
well,
not
now
great.
that you mention it.
It's kind of like the more you talk about it, the worse it gets. Is that?
Do you feel like sweaty?
Are you casting a spell on me?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's just the effect I normally have on people.
You could talk about like how full my stomach feels or how like light my load is.
Sure. I mean, yeah, let's talk about the acoustics in here. It's pretty good, right?
Hello. Good. Right, so we keep
Beautiful.
walking with the Valka and Marrowmorn show that is, holy God. I'm surprised no one just killed us by having to listen to us.
Mhm.
Thankfully, there's no one around. Uh, and eventually, the ground does level out. After a good 3 hours of walking, you feel it level out gradually and come to level ground. And up ahead, with even with your dancing lights, it's kind of hard to tell distances because it is just so much pervasive darkness that it's how distances become very strange. But up ahead, you can tell that there is the light of what looks like midday coming up.
The fuck is that?
I mean, it's a light, but I know that's not what you're asking. I know that's what like, oops, sorry.
I think by now Valka's giving you a look of you fucking, and
Thank
also
you.
I appreciate that.
Maybe there's like a little, maybe there's people that live down here. It's got to be. Got these little trade routes and stuff.
I mean, yeah.
Or like a
If some-
hotel, like a cool underground hotel.
like a mole hotel, like a motel, or like a
Yes,
motel.
a motel. Yes, absolutely.
Hotel, motel, holiday Inn. And so as you all continue forward, eager to discover this motel,
We're being very serious, Sage, and you
Yeah.
are bringing your levity in here on this horror stream.
Mhm.
I know,
We're doing all this world building for you.
the worst. I'm the worst. Instantly fired. All right, so as you all continue forward, eager to discover what lies ahead, you can see that the tunnel that you're in, you can see it gradually opens up into this huge cavern. The ceiling of this stretches at its apex to about 2 miles tall, and you can see that this passageway that you're into continues off to the right. But looking at this huge cavern, there is the light of daylight underground. You can see hanging from the ceilings are these spectacular discs that provide the surface for hanging gardens. As the city spreads out before you, completely built out of the earth and stone, as if they've been almost grown from the ground beneath them. And you can see that at one end there are these 4 main sort of monoliths that are open to the air, that have these column structures on the top. And at the far end, directly across from them, on the opposite side of the city, you can see that there is one single huge sort of monolith at the other end. And you see that all of these individuals sort of, going about their day, you can see they're mostly beast folk. You see these people who look like hyenas, these bipedal hyenas and panthers, and you see these falcon people, you see raven folk that look similar to Six Killer, but just a little bit different. Going back, you see them tending to these gardens, and in the midst of it all, you hear the sounds of a squabble. In sort of the center of this building that you can't quite see the source of, but you can definitely hear the sort of slashing of swords.
Shall we move a bit closer, kind of stick to the shadows?
Valka looks up. Oh yeah, I guess we do have shadows now.
Yeah, and then Marrowmorn sort of extinguishes her little dancing lights. Like, Like, I feel like we will want to speak to someone, but probably not those people holding the swords.
Well, you never know.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's the sword of knowledge, and whoever holds it knows everything.
It's the sort of library finding for all we know. I
Do you think that? What? What?
What?
Like a Dewey Decimal Dagger or something? Sorry, it's a person from my town.
Need to make that item right now.
Yeah, I'm Jen Vaughn, TM. No. Slash.
I think I heard about something like that. It belonged to a really powerful wizard named Dirk.
The Dirks are better than daggers for sure.
Yeah, Dirk's, yeah. Yeah.
And surrounding the city, you do notice that there is quite a formidable wall with these sort of guard posts every so often, and you can just see, you see these. You see these mostly. Sorry, reading notes. You see these mostly like like owl-looking, like Aarakocra, and like these like sort of like cheetah-looking tabaxi kind of people, like spotted around these in these turrets around this huge wall that's guarding the city. And you see a big gate.
Well, I guess the big thing is that they don't look like ghouls or vampires, so that's a one-up. Do you suppose that this light would keep those sorts of people away? Because it's pretty bright.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of like a protected city.
It could be something like that. I mean, we could check it out, I guess. And if it looks bad, we can just fucking run. I guess, right?
Yes, running. Yeah, absolutely.
Just try not to look, I guess, inconspicuous or threatening.
Can do. Ship's lavender backpack on back. With a sword jostling around. Yeah, some kind of. Should we pretend to eat something? People who eat things aren't known.
That's a good idea. Because I know that ghouls don't eat food; they eat people. And vampires, everything they eat, it turns to like ash in their mouth, right?
Yeah, so it'll be and also look like we live here. We're just kind of like having an afternoon snack.
Good idea.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I've
rations?
I've got one apple and a block of this pretty good cheese.
Oh, can I get the cheese?
Yeah. Also, well, oh my gosh. Valka, have you ever had a piece of cheese on a piece of apple?
I've never had something like that.
Okay. You can have most of the cheese, but you have to try at least one slice. I promise. Well, you might like it.
What kind of apple is this?
Oh, it's a green crisp one. Absolutely.
It's incredibly beautiful, I gotta say.
Yeah. Nobody wants soft red-skinned apples that feel like you're biting into a dead person's skin.
Yeah, the only
at least
apples
not me.
The only apples we have in the Shadowfell are crab apples, and you can't eat them.
Oh my god, yeah, the ones that turn into crabs in your mouth. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, or down there. That's the worst kind. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened to me. I don't eat with that part of my body.
Well, again, you haven't lived fully yet, but
Apparently.
Until you've tried this slice of cheese on a slice of apple.
Oh my god. So you all approach slicing cheese, slicing apples.
Thank you, Sage.
Combining them together.
We will keep going. You just move the scene.
We have unlimited random shit to talk about here.
Oh my god, it's just so funny. I don't want to stop it, but also oh, it's so good. So you all approach. Yeah, you get the knife. You're cutting off the slices of apple, combining it with the cheese. Valka might have feelings about that we can talk about later.
Yeah.
So you all approach the guard gate, I assume.
This food is so good that we're eating.
Making a display of your livelihood. You see this this cheetah looking humanoid person. You can see that they've got a bow ready in hand. They're wearing this leather armor, which has this blazoned on the front, has this beautiful sigil of a sun. And you can see as you all approach, and they take a quick look at you, as you say, "Oh, this food is so good."
And I'm eating with my mouth.
Definitely with my mouth. They peer over the edge and look at you all and say, "What business do you have here?"
Before I answer that, where the fuck are we?
This is the Grand Necropolis seawall.
Grand Necropolis. And he's got his notebook out and he's writing this down. Grand Necropolis.
Seawall.
Seawall. How do you spell that? S-E-A?
It's written on the front gate, and you can see S-I-W-A-L.
Oh, okay.
In big common letters.
Sweet.
Sorry, sometimes seawalls are like a thing that prevents the sea, and I didn't know if there was like a putrid stew of human like fug and stuff where like, you know, the dead were roiling
you see
around.
This, like,
Well, also the
raised.
etymology is important.
Yeah.
Are you all good? Are you all fighters? Are you capable? Could you fight the undead? We've got a situation here.
Sorta.
I'll take it. You can see that they put this big claw on this on the lever, and you can see them pull it, and you see these stone gates begin to slowly rise to be able to let you all in. And you can see, going into here, you see this very neat array of buildings that between shops and what you would expect to be like regular sized houses for people, Marrowmorn, what you would immediately recognize dispersed between this sort of residential area, is that there are like small mausoleums just mixed in amongst these houses. What you all also notice is that there are a great number of tombstones and grave markers and dispersed. Not as what you would expect to be like a cemetery where we keep the dead over here, but sort of mixed in with the rest of everyone. And in this arcane light of day, you can see in this sort of town square area, you see this sort of ghostly looking figure with the scimitar, and you see this huge creature. This creature with a panther body and great big raven's wings, and this sort of feminine face, who also has these 3 snakes for a tail, just slashing these great panther claws at this undead creature that they're sort of fighting back. And you also see with them LuVon, or not LuVon. No, I need to update the overlay.
You got out of the crystal.
Wow.
I told you it was my spell. I put guidance on him and he found us lickety splickety.
Not LuVon, but Willy. Willy, describe also who they see fighting alongside this sort of raven panther sphinx creature.
What you see is a tiny bundle of rags, perhaps. Just kind of like, you hear little like just kind of emitting out, while a scaly hand holds out a tiny 2-sided dagger at this point. And right out from the other side of the rags is a blue curly tail. Seems a little familiar, doesn't it?
Is that a house cat? That's gotten into the toilet tissue.
I don't think so. This is something.
I mean, also it can wield a dagger like nobody's business. I'm not sure.
It's some kind of bundle of rags, like a ragamuffin sort of.
A ragamuffin. What is that?
It's like a regular, like anything small, but involves a lot of rags. You usually find them on the couches or beds.
seems kind of rude as a word to me.
Well, I mean, sure, I didn't make it up, but
But you used it. That's fine.
okay. I see what we're doing here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, you can't win this one. So, but thank you for trying to eliminate. It feels familiar though a little bit, so that's why I'm just.
In what way? Let's talk about this while this thing fights for its life, probably.
Well, let's help it. Let's help it out. That's what we're here for. So yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Marrowmorn draws her skeletal hand sword. It's got the hand wrapped around this blade, and I was like, let's do this.
Let's roll some initiative real quick.
Oh wait, I have to actually add stuff to it. Hold on.
8 for Marrow.
15 for Valka.
6.
Wow, really? That's possible?
What's your
Oh.
dex, Matt? Mine's +2.
My dex is 11
No, the
plus 0.
+0. Okay. Sorry, you got an 8, right? As well.
I got a 15.
Nope. Okay, cool. My internet stuttered, and I just hear what I want now.
That's
Season 4, awesome. No.
So you all see this great big black sphinx creature just lean in and just swipe with these huge panther claws, and from their claws you see this lash of sunlight just strike out against this creature, and it hisses back as it tries to retreat to the shadows. And then Valka.
So it's this Sphinx thing that we're fighting against?
It appears to be fighting this undead creature who has this kind of like ghostly look to it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Valka will just kind of run up while like pulling back the sleeve on the right arm and wind up one of his good old-fashioned first sigil of endless flesh punches. That can go up to 30 feet. Let's see. That's going to be a 22 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Okay. And let's see. That will be 8 points of bludgeoning damage as his arm just like rockets across the scene and kind of waves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Very nice. And then Marrowmorn.
How juicy are these things that we're fighting?
It's like it's about as juicy as Marrowmorn is, if that makes sense.
So very okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Half juice, half ghost.
Yeah. All fun, baby. No. Okay.
Oh
Made out
yeah.
of iced tea ecto cooler, I guess.
It's just like put that straw, make the hole in the bottom, and we're back to it.
on Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Would you say that there's has there been any sprays of blood of any kind? Like,
Not a spray, more of like a trickle of coagulated.
Okay. I love your
Very
Dedication.
technical terms here.
oh. Yeah.
A sp of blood.
Ooh.
Yeah. If we're gonna get technical, I guess.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. Yeah. Holy moly. Okay, yeah, Marrowmorn's gonna pull out her yeah, so no, not the undead. Cool. Forget you, new spell. Throw you in no, and she pulls out her beautiful light dulcimer and starts playing it and while running. Sorry, she put the sword back. Dulcimer and is playing it and then uses it and creates a cool blast of light while she's singing, just like "Hello, new friend" to the rags, and it sheds a 20-foot radius of light, an additional 20 of dim light. It's sunlight too, so if they can't take sunlight, then it hurts them, and if not, it was a cool entrance while she also gives their new friend bardic inspiration. So you get 1d10 for ability, attack roll, or saving throw.
Nice. Very
Whatever that new friend's name is. No.
Marrowmorn?
Hello?
It's not my turn yet.
Oh, and then it is your turn.
No, I immediately just pop off my hood, and you see, yes, this little snot just kind of look up at you. Oh, you're alive. Yeah, hi.
Oh my god. Marrowmorn reaches. Valka, look, it's
Oh my god, it's Snot Rag.
All right. Oh, dang. Okay, I was like, it's not snot grass, but it was snot. So
How could you forget Snot Rag,
sorry,
a
I was saying
friend
that in
that
my
we
Gen
rescued?
voice. In my Gen voice. Snot Rag, you. Hello. What are you doing
Rag's
here?
completely distracted in the moment.
Oh no. Wait. Tell us later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and here we go. We're gonna swing our cool dagger.
Yes.
That is a 4.
Oh, no.
Snot Rag completely just topples over onto his rags. Oh.
So distracted.
Immediately dies.
Oh, no.
No way.
Oh,
This
and
keeps
that-
happening.
Oh my god.
Bonus action, just gonna start dodging on the ground, I guess.
And as Snot Rag is wiggling around on the ground, this thing is going to turn its attention and focus on you. And it's distracted by the light, by all of this light that is happening. It seems to be like hissing and trying to shriek back, but it's trying to get a few attacks off with its sword, but it just completely misses as it's starting to slink back. And then you see this Sphinx creature as this white begins to recede back to the shadows. This Sphinx lunges forth and with this mighty pounce just snaps its claws onto this creature, and you see, and just beneath its great paws you see this little flash of white, and suddenly the creature is just turned to dust underneath its paws. And it sort of steps back a little bit, and it dusts them off and looks at you all and says, "Oh, well, welcome, I suppose, to Seawall. Do you have business in the city?" Excuse me, I am, you may call me Elham. I am here. I'm one of the 4 heads of the city. I apologize for the entrance. We've had some troubles lately with the undead who live in the city.
Nice to meet you, Elhan. Is that right?
Elham.
Elham.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you, I'm Valka. Holy shit, Snot Rag, how the fuck did you get down here?
Oh, hi, Valka. Wait. Why am I down here? Why are you down here?
Well, it's a long story. We're looking for a book, and one of our friends is in a crystal, and we fought a dragon that was made partially out of my best friend, and also Six Killer here, who you've met before, is kind of in anger
Six
shock.
Killer.
But it's a long story. Wow,
It's actually a pretty short story. I feel like you covered most of it in like 15 seconds.
Oh, you're right. Maybe I should try doing that more often.
Yeah, flash fiction, non-fiction.
Anyways, how did you get down here?
Yeah.
I'm sorry that we like basically abandoned you.
No, it's okay. I got picked up. It's fine. I'm down here on business.
Congratulations. It seems like you have made your way since we last saw you. Who is the business for? Also, I'm sorry. Hello, Elham. Thank you. I'm Marrowmorn. We shake hands. We,
She extends this large clawed hand out to you and is like, I suppose this is what you all do on the surface?
It's a lot upstairs is what I'm gonna call it.
Sorry, my internet cut out for a second. What?
We could do. Is there a custom down here in, Grand Necropolis Seawall?
Do we like spit in each other's hands and then shake?
Probably not that. Probably not that.
That's a little gross.
She looks with her big panther tongue, like human panther tongue on and it's like, no, not quite. Well, bowing is generally the accepted formal greeting. And you see it's like this, like panther body sort of, dips into this low bow in front of all of you. And she stands 12 feet tall from ground to the top of her head.
Marrowmorn's just like, I get used to this.
Wow. Thank you for letting us into your place.
Was this a fight club? What was this again? The undead are kind of like breaking. You said they live in the city though? They're not like, but they occasionally can't. Is something happening with them or
Yes. So here in Seawall, what we try to do is to live with our dead in harmony. Not everyone who's buried, but some will rise up and they will become zombies, wights, ghosts, of any sort of undead. And so generally how it works here in the city is during the day, the living get, as she kind of motions to this magical sunlight, the living get 12 hours of the day where we can do what we need to do. We can go about our business, live, work, shop, travel around the city freely, and the dead stay inside inside their homes, and then they get 12 hours of darkness where the living return to their homes. And it's been mostly at peace. We've been able to keep this up for quite a while, but lately the undead have begun to grow restless. They've begun to stir more and more during the daylight hours, and as per our truce, it is accepted that if any undead are found walking within the hours of the living, that if they're hostile, they shall be dealt with. And she kind of says that with a sort of sorrow in her voice. And likewise, in the time of darkness, if any living are found outside, well, they are free to be eaten by the dead if they are caught. And we're not sure the source of this.
So I'm a forgetful person. So like, how 12 hours without leaving? What if there's an emergency?
Well, if there's emergency, then it would be clearly worth the risk, would it not?
I
And-
don't know at this point. It's not right. No. Like,
We do have, of course, Snotrag is here as an honored guest. Please let us move out from the.
yeah, like
dust
how
of-
much time do we have? Good God, midday, right? Like,
Yes, it's midday, and as she takes a quick look up into the sky, it says, "There's approximately about 6 more daylight left. 6 hours more of daylight left."
How do you tell?
It's just something you learn. It's a trick. As
alright.
you know, as we start with, to mimic the light that is experienced on the surface for the plants and for people, we follow a sunrise to sunset. So it would be much like an equinox situation. We start with the warm glows of sunrise, and then midday, then sunset, and so you can tell as it gets darker, gradually gets darker, that is time to go back to your home. But come this way, follow me. And she sort of motions with her claw, and she begins striding forth to towards the far end of town that you had all initially sort of run through. And you can see that there are these 4 huge structures that almost look like pyramids that have been placed upside down in the ground. So like the point is stuck into the ground, and they've grown and they've been built out. And on top of the flat square bottom of the pyramid, you can see are these huge columns that jet up around them. And she brings you into one. And you all have to climb up a huge number of stairs through the perimeter of this pyramid as you spiral up. And eventually, you come to the top, where you see amongst these this very sort of Grecian garden with all of these columns and fountains and statues, you see this other sphinx. You can see that its wings are tattered and immense, and its body is just a sinuous line of spikes, and you see that arcane light burns in its gaze. And Valka, you recognize this to be the Sphinx from your dreams.
Valka immediately hides behind Marrowmorn. It's the Sphinx.
hey, cool. Like we always do.
Snotrag, you are very familiar with this individual. You recognize this as Sigil, who is sort of the one of the heads of the city.
I said, Gio.
Oh, hello, Snotrag. Friends.
Snotrag already knows it.
Enter.
Been here for a little bit.
I
You hear
forgot
this?
I'm really loud when I whisper.
You hear this voice sort of boom throughout this sort of garden area.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
And Elham will lead you forth, and she says, Sigil, they grow, the dead, the undead, they grow more brazen every day. In the broad daylight of noon, they're walking around even though they know it hurts them. It knows that harms them. They know that we will deal with them, and still they come, relentless.
I'm sorry, I know we're new, but how much investigating goes into this before punishment is delivered?
And Elham will say, well, I'm the head of the Gravebinders. The Gravebinders are responsible for keeping the dead, for making sure that in the twilight times and the transition between light to dark and vice versa, that the dead are turned back to their homes, and that the living are forewarned to go back. We have a bell system that signifies, of the time changes. We do our best to be as diplomatic as possible, to try and use nonviolence whenever we can. But lately, the dead have begun accosting, have strode out in broad daylight and have accosted people. And that is in direct conflict with our treaties that we've set.
Right, it sounds, I mean, the bell system sounds good. Unless someone can't hear, then I assume they do a little bit, they have like a companion or something. But how do you know that this person wasn't being compelled by something? There's so many spells that target the dead or the undead.
And you see this skeletal sphinx, as you can now see its full form in front of you.
Okay.
It's rough, about 15 feet tall.
Very big.
Very big. As it strides out and it lies down, sort of next to you all with its, very large leonin paws, sort of like neatly set one over the other. And it says, I think it has something to do with the last Ghoul King. I myself, being an undead, have heard this sort of siren's call. That is... And you see the light of its eyes sort of blink out for a moment and flickers back. I've heard its call, and I have dared not go and speak to the Ghoul King for fear of coming under his compulsion. He stirs within his crypt, for reasons I'm not sure why. And Snotrak too, you have sort of, being a Darkhold, you have felt this sort of like siren's call, this sort of beckoning to this crypt that's on the other side of the city.
I just thought it was kind of an undead thing, but Sajil says that it's very powerful.
That's pretty alarming.
I mean, this wouldn't have anything to do with like the wedding, you think, would it?
And
A wedding?
yeah, everyone sort of turns to you like, please elaborate.
Yeah, tell him about the wedding. Oh, Valka pulls out the wedding invitation, which is by now gray, and hands it to Marrowmorn.
Yes, thank you, Valka. We there's about to be a wedding between the Ghoul King and oh my gosh, I always write the name down wrong.
Morena.
The vampires. It's happening pretty soon, and right nearby. So I assume they're kind of getting the call because and Marrowmorn turns to Valka. They're supposed to be setting up for the wedding. They're the wedding planners.
Oh shit! You think they're the caterers?
Oh, probably. Anyway, sorry. We had a discussion, a discussion.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. You know how it goes. So yeah, I think that might be what's happening. Except you said they're going through a crypt instead of just walking out. How many exits are there here? A lot, right?
Well, each of our undead citizens has their own house. This is kind of vaguely. But the last Ghoul King, he resides within a crypt. It is a crypt that he is trapped in by who was the first emperor, who had defeated all of the... He could tell you the whole story. I'm not quite sure with all the details, but he cannot leave as far as I know. But if he has found a way, or if he has started to use his magic to expand his influence over the dead, that could certainly be behind why we started to see them become more restless.
I mean, that does kind of sound like what's happening.
Valka, This city could be what's going to be on the feast table. What if the wedding's here?
I mean, that
Underground.
makes sense because all the food prep has already been done.
Yeah,
all
they're already
here
they're
in their own
stewing.
containers.
12 hours of stewing in their own juices.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
All right, we're whispering loud again. I'm sorry.
Definitely for Snotrag. Snotrag would be, since Snotrag was there with the initial conversation with Hestia and all of the Order of the Ebon Star would be
right.
made privy to all of the sort of goings on that have been, that have been happening.
Well, we've probably got to figure out a way to keep your city safe then, shouldn't we?
If you all, I mean, I don't know if at this point he can be reasoned with, but if you all can talk him into letting the dead rest, of going back to our agreed order of things, and dare I hope not, perhaps defeating him within his crypt, there is something that I would be willing to part with as a token of my gratitude.
Marrowmorn's eyes slide to Snotrag, like,
Well, you said you were also gonna help us in the war, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Marrowmorn's like making eyes at Valka.
Did we? Yeah. We're gonna help. Yeah.
Sorry, I was pointing that towards Sajil at that point.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
Sorry.
I wasn't sure.
I was like, did
I
we
was-
say
yeah,
that
I
in
was-
season 1?
Yeah, and he would say, yes, while I have never communed with this tome, I do think it could provide insight on how to deal with this Darakul Empire and what the Gravebinders are certainly at your service, as he motions to Elham, who says, yes, of course. If you all seek to enter the Ghoul Imperium for reconnaissance or for wherever your ventures take you, I could ensure that you all are registered as undead within the Ghoul Imperium to avoid certain unpleasantness that can result.
That'd be wicked helpful.
Great.
Sorry.
So just so we're clear, I just want to make sure I understand this entirely. Excessive violence in the pursuit of persuasion against the Ghoul King. It's not illegal or something down here, right?
No. If you all...
Sweet. All right, cool.
You think we really beat
Oh.
some sense into him?
Oh, we're gonna. Okay.
I mean, I want to make sure my options are open.
That'd be like Plan W or something. Like,
If I learned one thing from Agfa, it's that sometimes you have to apply excessive, gratuitous violence to a situation.
Gratuitous. Okay. I'll make a note of that.
Mm-hmm. As gory and disgusting violence as possible. I mean, like really ripping tendons and like
Gory.
snapping the muscle tissue, popping the liver between your fingers. That as hot as you get. I mean, yeah.
well,
Got
first
it.
of all, very beautiful, very descriptive.
There you
So,
go.
what if we tried one of Agfa's other tricks, which is the depressing them, and we somehow convince the Ghoul King at last Ghoul that he's not worth Morena. You know, like he shouldn't get married. You know, leave her at the altar.
Oh, this is
we could
not
probably
the
try
emperor
that.
of the Ghoul
Oh, it's not
Imperium.
that. Sorry, it's the last Ghoul, not the Ghoul King. Sorry.
Right.
Okay. Never mind.
I mean, we could,
But let's just depress him, and he'll stay in his room and not try to get people to come over for a house party
for the wedding.
or the wedding, whatever he's trying to do. I mean, we don't know for sure.
I mean,
We can also talk to him.
That
That's
would be
brilliant.
preferable.
Yeah, I mean depression. Yeah, we weren't just gonna like play sad music like shoegaze or something outside of his home. But I could maybe we could though. She starts pulling out her like Y-shaped stick, like
I mean, maybe I could just tell him a story from my childhood.
absolutely. He's probably got some trauma too, honestly.
Probably.
He's been in that. The last Ghoul King has been in that crypt for 600 years. Probably a little sad.
He must be wicked bored.
Quite.
So we convince him to let the dead go back to the prearranged in their homes. Or, are they in homes? Or are they in like the mausoleums and are those their homes?
Yeah, those are the homes. You can get.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm in the practice as well. A little bit different.
Feel free. Tell them all about it. I'm sure they'd love to know.
Just trying to get.
I'm trying to stay positive.
Oh, thank you. I was just giving a little soupçon of information, just kind of
Oh.
they could ask me if they're interested. I could feel Six Killer's eyes just in the back of my head. So I was just
Daggers.
yeah, like one like foot like on my heel. Is it possible? Is he allowed to leave though himself? Like, could it be arranged that he could go on like a mini break?
The magic that contains him within that crypt was magic performed by Emperor Tonduril, the Bonebreaker, the first of the emperors of the Ghoul Imperium. One could break that magic. It is possible. But I fear that we would have the very Ghoul Imperium immediately upon us if we were to allow such a thing to happen.
All right. She just sort of crosses out no vacation on the piece of paper. Right. This is what brainstorming's for. All right.
I mean, we got time to figure that out.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for us? Is there like a certain entrance? Should we bring a gift?
You will find the crypt at the far end of the city. It is represented by the monolith that you can see as it points with this large skeletal claw towards the opposite end. There are a series of traps inside. While no one has been down there, as far as I know, for quite some time, to discourage tomb robbers from entering, there are traps, creatures, a great number of things that you can expect to confront. The entrance itself is hidden. You must solve a puzzle to figure it out.
Fuck.
You would like that, wouldn't you? I didn't say that out loud.
Some of us would. All right. Cool. Series of traps, puzzle to get in, hidden doorway. These are all, I mean, it's pretty standard for don't bother me. So I'm excited to get in for this. Cool. And Snotrag, would you come with us?
Yeah, this is a part of official duty, so absolutely.
Are you an ambassador?
For the Order of the Ebon Star. But
And he hides his little sigil underneath his bandana.
All right.
Excellent.
Zippers exist. Zip.
Zippers exist.
Buttons her mouth closed. Right. I'm sorry. Does the Is the Sphinx, were they using he, him pronouns or?
Here they.
Or, okay. Sir, is it possible for you to do a small favor for us to help us once we're inside?
Oh, certainly.
Excellent. Would it be possible to do you have a teleportation circle out here?
We do.
Or know of one?
In the library.
That was gonna be another question. It's perfect. We got a library here.
Yes.
All right. Is it possible if I went and learned the sigil sequence so we could use it as like a little escape for ourselves if we needed to?
Certainly. Yes, if you should find yourselves in danger, I would definitely like for you all to have a method of retreat. Come with me. And you see the skeletal sphinx form sort of transmute into this sort of skeletal figure of a man, which is much more compact. And you can see on the top of his head, you see this floating crown of purple flames that sort of hovers above his head as he walks with you all and leads you into the biggest library that you have ever seen.
Wow. I've never seen a library before.
It is from floor to is this great huge domed building with this sort of glass that diffuses in this beautiful sunlight of day, which casts this perfect ambiance over all of these hundreds and hundreds of leather-bound tomes, of these bookshelves that stretch 30 feet easily upwards, with these ladders that are on the wheels that are sporadically placed around the room. And you can see at the center of this library is this massive black tome that is, you can see it's the backing of it is made with black dragon scales. And as this lich basically walks over to it and he gestures with this bony hand. This is one of the 7 copies of the Necropedia. If you are able to convince him to bring the dead back in line or to destroy him, this shall be yours. I have had it in my family for generations. It is one of 7 copies that exist in the world, and this one we guard.
Wow. Valka's obviously like in wonder at this book, but also at like this library in general. He just like rides on the ladder for a moment.
Yeah. So,
he's just like, look at this shit. Isn't it neat? I mean, looking around, you'd think this collection's complete.
Marrowmorn is like, like looking at the book like, oh, hell yeah. You said massive and scale. So is this like book is like as big as their torso or something? Like,
so this book is about 3 feet long and about a foot thick.
okay. Yeah. But she's also gonna like lean over and like look at Valka and go, it's a bit convenient, isn't it? Is what 6 Killer would say, but I don't care. I think it's amazing.
It's pretty out in the open. You don't have like problems with thieves or something, huh?
This book has means of protecting itself, as it were.
It's tied to the podium, isn't it?
It is not.
Is it magnets?
How do they even work? We'll never know.
Magic.
The book protects itself, and while I, over the course of my several thousands of years of life, have had to fight back a few who wish to use its knowledge for ill, if all 7 copies were ever to be brought together, that would be the greater evil. One alone is not the worst, as they say.
Can I look at it real quick?
Yes.
So Valka goes over to it and he looks at it and he like touches like the outside of the pages.
It's like electricity on your skin. It's like the feeling of like a static shock. Feel your hair just sort of like edge up a little bit.
The hat like stiffens up.
This book is powerful.
Can I like read the table of contents or something? Is that okay? Do I need gloves?
Gloves are probably a good idea. But yeah, you can flip through this huge chunk of pages. And you see that this is volume 3. 3 of 7. And looking through the table of contents, you see, oh, let me pull up the stats for this crazy book.
Ooh, it's got stats.
Oh, this book has stats.
Stats on stacks on stats.
Oh boy. All right.
Willy, is Snotrag tall enough to see this book?
I mean, he's basically just kind of looking up, like, wow, that's a book, and then just kind of like waiting patiently.
Marrowmorn's gonna be like, "Hey, you wanna boost?" Cool. I assume there's like some. Well, actually, there's probably just chairs around, right? Like the people reading. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. She
Are
just.
there booster seats?
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
But Marrowmorn's just gonna grab a chair that he can stand on, but like sees that he's waiting, and it's like, oh, like.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can see that
Beautiful
within the table of contents of this book, you can see that there is sections of notable denizens and sort of subplanes within the Shadowfell, of which you notice one as the Raven Queen being a notable resident of the Shadowfell. You see that there is a section of that is about the creation of the undead. And then as you sort of look through these table of contents and your eyes sort of scan down, as you get towards the last chapter, it's as if the words, while you can see that they are in common, it's as if they make no fucking sense. They just turn to gibberish within your mind.
Neat, forbidden shit. And he's gonna like go all the way to the back.
Mm-hmm. You gonna try and read it?
Yeah.
I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, good. Let's see. Got a +0 to this. That is a 6.
Teen.
Nope.
I think that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Oh God.
Amazing.
Oh, with it! Look at that! It's 8:00, and I think that's where we're gonna.
Oh, look at
But
that.
we're reading a book, Sage.
I did a bad. I did a very bad.
Forbidden shit. Oh.
Oh boy! Wow! All right, things are kicking off in episode 3 of The Rising Hunger. We're reading books. We're learning things. We're talking to new people.
All right.
We're discovering
right.
old friends.
Yeah, Willy had to make himself the most precious character,
Yeah.
a practical baby, in hopes that we would help him out this time in combat. Like, this is the low depths Willy has to go to for the teammates. Oh my gosh. Willy, you're doing it's amazing. Love him.
Oh my
it was either Sweet Baby or Old Gruff Knoll Boy. So I think I made the right choice here.
Yes.
I
Sweet
love it.
baby.
It's so
Sweet
good.
baby is perfect.
We should not tell Rihanna and just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely do not know. Oh, goodness. Well, I have been your storyteller sage, keeper of evil and mystery.
I've been the Willy Boo at the Willy Boo, fun posting online and acting like I'm 9. Bringing you this evening one snot rag, not Chromarak, little Daracool Kobold. We'll find out more next time.
Well, the rest of you will find out more next time. I've been Matt playing Valka Ilford, the Shadow Archive Witch, whose brain is probably about to be turned into maggots.
we'll bring you back. Who do you wanna? Yeah, you should, Matt. You got to figure out who you're gonna be from the past shows. So just start thinking about that.
Good point.
Oh, and I've been Marrowmorn, the orc bard shade. I'm trying to like twin sages exit. Reader of mysteries and no. And eater of evils. There it is.
Mm.
Yes. And you can find me at the Genya online. And thank you to people that showed up last week to the Power Hour, 4 hours. It was great. I didn't definitely pass out right afterwards. You can listen to my all femme D&D storytelling podcast at D20 Dames, wherever podcasts are free. Willy was a recent guest on it as a beautiful were raven. Willy, sorry, you didn't bring it up, but you also have a new Build-A-Ware book.
Yeah.
Right, that'll be coming out next week. That's the
Okay.
Build-A-Ware workshop. Get ready for it.
Yeah, sorry. It's so good.
Oh boy, can't wait for that. Fantastic. Let's see. Next Wednesday we'll be back with Rime of the Frost Maiden as we continue through having just recovered very particular artifact as we continue our quest to find Aurel and hold her for justice and the rhyme, ever-present rhyme that she has set upon the frozen north. And yeah, that's it. And then you can find us, of course, next week, same time, same cool place, 6 to 8 p.m. PST, as we'll find out what happens to Valka's brain. And until next time, friends, feast
Feast
away.